In DayZ, there are a lot of skills you need to master to get better at the game. But there's one special skill that you should spend some more time to invest in, and that is learning to track the movements of other players. Doing so will make it possible to find other survivors without having to rely on them shooting a gun, and give you a potential first shot advantage while they're running around looting unsuspectedly. Here are 5 tips to help you become a DayZ tracking master. 1. Zombie bodies. A silent and obvious signifier that a player has been around is a collection of dead zombie bodies. With zombies, you can easily tell whether a player has been tactically looting around or if they were fending off a horde based on the density of bodies in one area. If there are single dead Zeds scattered all over town, then they were most likely looting and taking them out one by one. If the bodies are bunched together outside a building or under an elevated surface, the player probably got to a safe position and took them all out at once. Looking at how the bodies fell also can play a huge part in determining the player's path. For example, if they were looting town and taking out zombies one by one, look at how the zombies fell in order to help you track how that player may have maneuvered themselves while looting. If a zombie is laying flat on its back, it means it was killed from the front and fell backwards, a head-on fight. And if it is laying face down on the ground, that means it was killed in one hit from behind. Now, you can connect the dots and follow the bodies where you think the player may be headed. Think of hotspots and key locations in that town and go from there. 2. Dead bodies. Dead bodies are another pretty obvious sign that another player was there. Typically, players in higher tiered areas will have died from zombies or another player. Look at the context clues of the situation to determine what might have happened. Did you hear any gunshots from earlier in that area? Are there dead zombies around the body itself? Is there a horde of zombies lingering around? What's the state of the player's clothing? All of these questions will help you come up with an answer. But in the occasion that you find a body that you think was shot at and killed by another player, come up with where you think the dead person was shot from, track down the location, and look for other signs of players like dead or trapped zombies to pinpoint if that's where they indeed came from. Now you could be on their trail. You can also tell how old the dead body is, how long ago they died, based on the flies buzzing around them. If there are no flies and the body has a lot of color, then it's been freshly slain. If the body is semi-fresh but has flies buzzing around, it's been killed around 10ish minutes ago. And if the body looks cold, is white in color, and there are no sounds, then it's been dead for nearly 30 minutes. Keep in mind, these numbers are estimates and can be varied based on the server you're playing on. 3. Dropped loot. As you become an experienced DayZ survivor, you'll learn a bit about the loot economy and how items will spawn in. This also means that you'll be able to tell when something is out of place. If you find a heap of items that look dropped or unusual, that can be used as another sign that a player has been around. Sometimes it will be obvious and other times not. Make sure to look for items that are oddly placed, glitched through tables or beds. Look for pieces of paper or backpacks with oddly placed items inside. Ruined clothes, items dropped in an area or building that they don't spawn in, or just a simple heaping pile of junk. Finding drop loot could mean someone took the time to organize their gear, or there could be a dead body outside that they looted. If this is the case, finding where they decided to hunker down and sort things out could be huge in terms of where they may have went after they looted everything they wanted. Odds are, well, in my experience anyway, the direction a player has gone to loot their kill away from the body is typically the same direction they went to escape the area as well. This is obviously not factual, but it's a theory that has served me well in the past. 4. Sounds. When I suspect a player is in the area, I like to get in a nice, advantageous position and just watch and listen for a little while. This sort of reconnaissance tactic has allowed me to become a more patient player and wait for another player to reveal themselves before I go down there and personally investigate. Listening and watching for player action and movement is an obvious tracking technique, but is mightily effective. If you use the other clues discussed to help you first, then you might just get that first shot advantage on the player that you're tracking down. 5. Player activity spawns. Lastly, you can look for certain items that will spawn in if a player has passed through that area. Things like fruit, mushrooms, stones, etc. With the perishable goods that will spawn around hay bales and trees and in greenhouses, They will show a condition status that will tell you how recent a player has been around. Pristine would mean super recent, but then as the condition value lowers to worn, damaged, badly damaged, and also dried and rotten, then the more time has passed since that player has been around. Well, that's it for this video. I really hope this helps you and you're able to track down players in DayZ more effectively. If you thought this video was helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more DayZ guide content and adventure content. If you have any more DayZ player tracking advice or tips, make sure to drop it down in the comments below and we can talk about it. Alright guys, that's it for now and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye bye.